my name's Caroline. I'm a director, creating live performance since I was 12 years old, and over the last 12 years been creating theatre in the real world, mainly in fringe and small scale, taking some performances and sharings to the Lowry in Salford, Oldham Coliseum in Oldham, and the Bolton Octagon in Bolton. Within the same 12 years, I've made 2 babies, contributing to my student loan by doing an MA in making performance. I'm actually in the process of writing my dissertation right now, so that's what I'm going to be doing once we've stopped having a chat. And I'm also a casual museum assistant at the local historical site, Astley Hall. I also do educational facilitation for them. So busy. So I thought you might want to see just some images, some ideas of what it is I've created. So here's a little taster.
Once upon a time there lived a girl, a poor bookseller's daughter. Though she was kind and very beautiful, the girl dreamed of more, of a life and future much bigger than her own. Once upon a time there lived a girl, and that girl was me. And I'm about to make the biggest decision of my life. Come on, I'll tell you why.
Sure as hell will let you die a death worthy of a woman. They'll leave us in here to rot, Ida. And talking will just make it done.
I haven't done anything!
You of all people should know how little that means. Ida, I'm sorry I didn't mean to bring it all up.
It's not the same as what happened.
I know, I promised Maria I'd take care of you. I promised. Ida.
You should keep applying water to that burn. That way it won't scar.
Come quickly, he's been asking for you. Jack! Oh, Jack, what's happened to you, Jack? He had to bring him on to Marshall Howell. I think he's sickening. It's alright, Jack, it's alright, I'm here. Oh my God, you're bringing him. What were you thinking, bringing him here so close to the children? I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't take him home, my mother. Oh, Jesus, where's mother now, Jack? Is he going to die? Maggie! You have to do something! Leah, you must go to the kitchen and fetch my box. My healing box. It's in the kitchen next to the flower bag. Tell no one when you're doing all that I have sent you, understand? Yes, it's all right. Tell no one. Run, girl! Oh, Jack, it's all right.
We must trust in the Lord, Catherine.
My babies! My babies! No! No! I shall never see my children again! Oh.
Lavender's blue, dilly dilly, lavender's green. When you are king, dilly dilly, I shall be queen.
I've had a bit of a journey with working with new writing. When I first started directing, I was working a lot with new writing, new writers and new performers, and found that often the process could be difficult. Everybody trying to cut their teeth on, on the project itself. I just felt like there should have been a better way, like an easier way of us all working together to create something really great. So with that, I had lots of questions about my own approach and attitude to directing. And then I went on a project with Wiley Longmore and Conor McKee called Script for Stage, and we worked with 4 writers, and I was an assistant sort of shadowing Wiley, and that led me into thinking about my own processes. And I applied for Arts Council funding and created a few successful projects with that. The biggest one being Chosen Words, where I really could establish my own way of working with new writing. I worked with 6 different writers. One was directed by myself, Finding Alice, for ADP. And that was last year. And it toured Northwest, and we went to the Lowry and Oldham Coliseum with that show. So those questions have been with me now for about 9 years, and they're the questions that I've took into my MA, working with new writing as a director, dramaturg, and just sort of like putting my questions and processes in an academic field. So that's what my dissertation is looking at, and that's where I sit with new writing. And one of the reasons I feel like that's a really important question, and probably the reason why I've not been able to let it go for quite a long time now, is the fact that I think we have to take responsibility as creators of theatre when we're working with new writing to make sure that we're serving the story, and that's the writer as well. So we're not necessarily serving the writer, but we're serving the story from the writer. And I think if we start doing that, we're going to empower voices. And I just think we're not hearing enough empowerment from people that need to be heard. My instinct as a storyteller and somebody who creates theatre is for audience members, for them to be immersed in a different world, like site-specific work. I like playing in a site with classic text. So one of my proudest performances that I've created was Dracula at Astley Hall. And we created a production that was sat in the hall, that audiences travelled with characters throughout the space, and it was really exciting. I love working with classical texts and adapting them, and I think this is where I found it difficult sometimes to identify myself, because I do so much with new writing. A lot of people would see me as a new writing director, but my heart is in classic storytelling with a twist, which is where my company 16th Wall Productions has sort of like been born out of. I enjoy playing with classical texts, shifting things around, playing with gender, playing with every element of it. There's so much freedom in that. Another element to my vision, to my style, when I'm wanting to take an audience on a journey through the performance into another world, is really exploring the detail of another world. I really enjoy working with scenographers, with lighting designers, sound designers, to get an idea of how we can really subliminally crank up the experience, so we're really sort of delving in, sitting in the worlds that we're creating. I like to use sensory, smells, and break that fourth wall and really step the audience into the world rather than us going into the audience, putting the audience into that space, sometimes physically, or as close as possible to, I suppose, getting down to the crux of the matter, right? So I've made some notes on this, so I'm going to refer, because I started to rant and I just want to make sure that I keep this succinct for you, because I'm sure you're going to get so many of these. I feel that I have a synergy to what's going on with Out of Joint. I have a substantial opinion and approach to working with new writing, particularly new writers. I am compassionate and understanding to that process, probably a lot more than many of my colleagues in this field. And I'm not sure why. A friend of mine referred to me as an empath, that I connect and I can see, and I give people tools. I'm generous, and when I'm working with new writing in particular, I really, really passionately want to empower that writer, to empower that story, to make sure that the intentions of the writer is what we're getting given on the page and what the performer is getting given to convey that story. It's all about the communication from the mind, from the concept, through each and every artist involved to the audience, and how they're then receiving that information. And I am detailed in that process. And we exploratory. So no stone is left unturned, and we really work as a team. And I am definitely the team leader in that. I think it's important to set up the space correctly, to create a conducive environment, to encourage people, to make sure that everybody feels wanted, everybody's opinion is valid, everybody's voice can be heard, to make sure that that piece is going to be the strongest it can be. The reason why I feel like this is the right opportunity for me, I mean, I've got a list as long as my arm, but I'll try and keep it brief. We're working in an industry that, in my opinion, and to somewhat factually, is saturated with a particular social class being able to voice their opinion, and, as a friend of mine coined the phrase, take part in social tourism, where they get to, provide their opinion on other worlds without having ever really delved into them and understand them. I class myself as a working class artist. I am a working class artist. I work 5 different jobs, and one of them is as an artist. I come from Widnes. Don't know if that just instantly makes you working class. It might be a thing. My dad was a taxi driver. My mum was a housewife. I was the first to go to university, and I was given an opportunity when I was 12 to join a local youth theatre that was being led by Jen Hayes, who is now a momentously wonderful female director who I'm so proud to say mentors me. We used to rock up on a Saturday and do 2 hours of drama, all of us young and naive, and we worked hard. We did Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing. We did some work with new writing, physical theatre pieces, and the entire group fell in love with it. Some of the alumni of that group is David Dawson, who's now very successful in the West End and is phenomenal performer who went to RADA. Another is Chris Hannon, who does a lot over in Yorkshire and has done children's TV. Steve Fletcher, he's also a brilliant director, performer, writer, producer in Liverpool. A number of other alumni have gone on to teach drama and still have passions in drama. And, I'm creating theatre in my own way and in my own streams. There's not one person in that group that didn't benefit from being part of that company. And I know I was blessed and very lucky to have that insight at that point, at that age, in Widnes, where there's not even a theatre space, like dedicated theatre space, and I feel like out of joint, and especially through this project, the Andrea Dunbar project. This is just wonderful, isn't it? It's voices like Andrea's that we're not getting anymore, and working with teenagers, this is so exciting, because we could be instilling a confidence and a belief in them and in anybody who contacts them and this project, to really believe that their voice is important, because their voice is important. I'm frustrated, greatly frustrated with the systems that are in place at the moment. I've never been given an opportunity in some of these regional theatres as an assistant. It's only as a visiting artist. It's usually not through me, it's the production company that's got in there, it's not me at all. But I don't fit. I don't tick the box. I didn't go Birkbeck, I didn't go Mount View, but I refuse to compromise who and what I am. I tried for too long and it still didn't work. So now I've decided to just be me. Work the way I work. Trust that it's beneficial to everybody. I feel that sometimes it's been my approach, my attitude, but now I feel like maybe it's part of a combination of that with the industry. I sat down with somebody quite high up in a particular theatre, and was told that I needed to walk through the corridors with the confidence of a man. I was like, oh my goodness, we're 400 years ago. I have to have the confidence of a man to walk through? What's wrong with my confidence? Because I don't shout it? Because I'm not... What is the confidence of a man anyway? Why is that even a comment? Confidence? Yes, confidence of a man. What? And that's a woman telling me. A woman telling me that I need to change a fundamental element of me. I'm compassionate. Yes, that doesn't mean I'm weak. That's a strength to my ability. That means that I bring people together, that I motivate people, that I can understand where people are coming from, step myself into those shoes and actually delve in and give them an insight into how they can draw that out further. That is a huge strength to my bow. And I'm nice. But that's a bad thing, apparently. I'm so nice I'm not worthy of the title of director. There's no nice directors? We're not nice? Of course we're nice. So, you said you'd want possibly a email rant. I just gave you a little video rant instead. Hopefully I've given you an idea of who I am, what I stand for, what I'd be like to work with. I'd love the opportunity to take my career into another realm, to share what I know with you guys, to learn a lot from what you're creating, and with or without my input, I sincerely hope it goes monstrously amazingly, and that somewhere in the future we can join forces and combine true voices representing their true worlds through exciting theatrical experiences. I'm gonna go finish my chapter on artistic vision. Hopefully that will go well. I'd like to hear from you. best of luck. And yeah, thanks for this.